Okay, video 4, marketing and social media. This is going to be a fun one. There is a lot, so please watch the whole video. I do think the whole thing is going to be helpful, even if you don't use every social media platform I recommend. As I stated in the first video, this is hard work. You have to be consistent. If you're not consistent, you're not going to sell. If you don't keep putting yourself out there and getting yourself in front of potential new customers, you're not going to sell anything. I've mentioned Canva in a couple of videos already, but as a reminder, it is a great way to market yourself. I use it not only to make thumbnails for my clips, but also to create graphics and promotional things. If there is a holiday coming up and I want to create a promo code for something, I will create an entire graphic saying like, Happy St. Patty's Day, use this promo code for 20% off your next video. Something along those lines. It's very simple, it's very easy. They have a lot of designs available as well if you do pay for the subscription, even the lowest subscription, which I'm not sure if I was grandfathered into the $12.99 or if that went up. Point is, it's worth it. I really like Canva and I use it a lot in my personal life, but also obviously here as well. I've also mentioned connecting social media like Twitter to your ManyVids, Fansly, Loyal Fans, whatever your chosen platforms are going to be, so that when you do post something new, it auto-generates a tweet for you saying, so-and-so has a new clip available. Sarah has a new post available for you to check out. And it'll typically give either the title of the video or the title of the post depending on which site you're using. Whatever you use, be consistent. Please be consistent. I'm going to keep driving that home in this video because it is the most important thing in my opinion, at least from a marketing standpoint. And you know what helps with consistency? Scheduling. That's also something I've mentioned before. You have to schedule posts. You have to make sure that you are constantly putting yourself in front of people. So whether you're using Twitter's desktop scheduling option, you're using a scheduling program like Buffer, you're using the scheduling options on Loyal Fans, ManyVids, etc. to schedule posts, to schedule marketing posts. There are a variety of options, and I will go into each specific website in detail in a later video. I just want to talk about marketing in this one. Even if all it is a teaser, put something out there to keep yourself in front of customers. I have taken 6 hours on a Saturday before to schedule tweets and ManyVids posts, not clip drops, just like reminder posts like, hey, check out this video, 3 months out. Now, the 6 hours because I went 3 months out, not because it takes that long to do like a month's worth. Though I do recommend at least doing a month at a time so that you're not constantly having to sit down and do it. And that way you can kind of be consistent with what the tweets or the posts say. You don't have to schedule 3 months out. It just gives you some breathing room. That way, if you're sick in bed for a week, or if you have to have back surgery and you can't really focus on anything, you can at least have something out there, even if it's not you actively, organically being in front of your customers. It's something. I've mentioned this app before, Buffer. They have an app and they obviously have their website. They allow you to connect up to 3 channels for free. After that, you pay $5 a month per channel if you pay annually, $6 a month if you pay monthly. The free version only allows you to schedule up to 10 posts at a time, so bear that in mind. If you start paying for it, you get unlimited posts. It's up to you if that's going to be worth it. I'm not yet paying for it because I don't think I need to. I don't post on Instagram that much, and when I do, it's usually a TikTok. I don't really use Blue Sky as much, and when I do, again, it's just pretty simple stuff. So I don't feel the need to pay for that yet. I might in the future, but not right now. There is a link in the description for Buffer. There's also a link for Canva and a few other things that I'm going to talk about in this video. A lot of people use FetLife. I use it. I have talked about it before. I use it to post thumbnails, to post graphics, to post about sales, to post teaser videos, a bunch of things. And I have joined groups that are both local for other creators, but also that are, national, international, for creators to find each other. But also there are some that are just called like OnlyFans, where you can join and just post your links and post, hey, I've got new content and things like that. Find what works for you, find what you're comfortable with, join those, start posting. Always, always, always follow the rules. Pay attention to not only the rules for posting, but the rules for joining, because some will be pretty strict about what they do and don't allow. I'm going to mention it again, consistency, because it's not just about scheduling those tweets. It's about being yourself. If being yourself is being a bratty, sadistic dom, great. If being yourself is being a dorky slut, also great. Hey, guess what? I've got two personas. I've got both. I like posting silly little things here and there as well. I made a post last night on my Dom Twitter about, hey, let's do a game called Guess What Movie I'm Watching. It's $5 per guess. It's $10 per hint. Here's your first free hint. And I don't know. I don't even know what I said. A few people guessed. A few people asked for hints. Nobody got it right, which is crazy because it was just fucking Star Wars. But the point is, make things fun. Make things silly. Make things you. Make things unique. I posted a photo on my regular adult content Twitter of me in a rather stretched out position saying I need to start doing yoga again. Just silly things. If you're not sure what to post, look at other people like you on Twitter or on ManyVids or whatever. Don't copy word for word. Don't copy the exact content, whatever it is. That is how you royally screw up in this industry. You will get blocked so fucking fast. You will get canceled in the industry so fucking fast. Take inspiration, do not copy. I'm constantly taking inspiration from other content I see, and I'm using that as a springboard to build and to create my own ideas and to create my own versions of that situation, whatever it is. There are very few truly unique content ideas out there anymore, so don't feel bad about using somebody as inspiration. Just don't copy them. When I was searching other financial doms on Twitter recently, I came across a tweet that was a short paragraph, and then a few more tweets later, an hour before that first one, was the exact same thing from an entirely different person. Because the first person I had seen had copied word for word the other person. That is so beyond unacceptable, because you're going to get screenshotted and you're going to get shared in other engagement groups and people are going to block you. It's unethical for one thing. And for another thing, you're just going to get in trouble with the community. Don't do it. Create something unique. Create your own thing. Creativity is part of the fun here. Now, on top of that, I was not only searching for other financial doms, I was searching for engagement groups. Some engagement groups will require you to follow everybody back. Some will require you to just like all the drops. Some, by drops I mean tweets. Some will require you to comment on all of the drops. Some will require you to retweet. You do what you feel comfortable with. Some have a minimum follower count requirement. Obviously, don't try to join those if you've only got 5 followers. That's silly. You're not going to get in. I don't mind following people back. Like I said in an earlier video, I check for age verification. But I do have a limit. I don't follow back 2D, 3D, AI DOMs because I think that is absolute bullshit. So if you're out there and that's what you're doing, there's a reason I'm not following you back. In fact, I'm probably going to block you. But if I'm in an engagement group with you, I'm just not following you back. I'm not engaging with your content. Nothing. It's not happening. I think those are so fucking unethical. Now, that is my opinion. You do what you feel is right, but that's how I feel. If you are a dom and you join an engagement group, make sure it's not one that requires you to retweet other doms, because the more doms someone sees on your page, the higher the likelihood that they will serve one of those instead of you. You want to keep your feed as clean as possible. Now, when it comes to just kind of generic adult work, great, fine, retweet whoever you want. I do recommend trying to keep it adult industry related and not reposting random shit like, hey, John Cena, blah, 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 because someone in an engagement group dropped one of those tweets just talking about John Cena, and I didn't interact with that because that's not the kind of content I want to invade my timeline. It's not the kind of content that even should be in that group. And no. Just no. That's my third thing. Whatever type of engagement group you join, just make sure it's one that you're comfortable with. If you want to retweet stuff, by all means, retweet stuff. Again, all of the stuff I'm saying is just recommendations. If you don't want to retweet certain types of genitalia, certain types of content, whatever, a lot of the time, if you just let the person who dropped that tweet know, they will say, oh, well, that's okay, just retweet another media or another tweet or something like that. Most people are okay with you choosing something else. Just be respectful about it. I know that some people look down on engagement groups saying, oh, that's not organic, that's cheating, that's blah, blah, blah. Listen, As long as you're not buying followers, I don't care how you gain those followers. The reason I gain followers is because people in the engagement groups like, comment, retweet, and their followers see my stuff and go, oh, I'm going to follow her too. It's important. And it's just engaging with the community. It's not buying followers. That's all I care about. Now, I've also seen Telegram groups, so that just feels like an extra step. I've also seen groups on Twitter where you can drop links directly to a ManyVids post, and on ManyVids you go and you like and you re-MV, I think is the term over there, and things like that. There are plenty of options there. If you want to join those, that's up to you. I find that they don't typically stick around for that long, so, take that as you will. Let's also talk about what not to do on Twitter. Number 1, don't use hashtags. That's going to get you shadow banned. Maybe not instantly, but very quickly. Number 2, don't use 15,000 keywords. I mean, obviously you can't use 15,000, but the point is use maybe 3 to 5, maybe 6, depending on how long your actual tweet is. And by that, I mean, type out your tweet, add a space, and then add your keywords after that. Do not have a spicy link as your official link on Twitter. Make it your link tree, make it your all my links, whatever, that leads to your not safe for work links from there. But having a loyal fans, an OnlyFans, a ManyVids as your official site on Twitter is only going to get you shadow banned. Make sure you mark your content correctly on Twitter. You go into settings and you make sure that it shows that you should only be shown to those over 18, that it is not safe for work content, things like that. On top of that, when you join these engagement groups, if you join these engagement groups, following a bunch of people at once is going to get you put in what at least used to be known as follow jail, meaning you can't follow anyone new for a hot minute. Now, things may have changed under Elon. I haven't had that happen because I typically try to only follow 6 to 10 people at a time, and then I let it cool off for a little bit. Just go slow, especially in the beginning, because the more you follow a bunch of people at once, the more you just like a bunch of tweets at once, the more you retweet a bunch of tweets at once, and the more you comment the same things. So if you're in an engagement group where you're just supposed to comment on someone's tweets, try to comment different things, a GIF, an emoji here, an actual comment here, etc. But the more you do the same things over and over, the higher the likelihood is that you will get marked as spam, as a bot, etc. Your account will likely get locked. Just click start on the process to unlock your account. It's really simple. You just have to follow a couple of prompts to prove that you're not a robot. But the more it happens, the more likely you are to get shadow banned. So just be careful about how you're using Twitter. Now, I got another sort of keyword I want to mention, 2 keywords I actually want to mention regarding Twitter. In the last couple of years, something really popular has started, and that is to use these 2 words, which I'm not going to say because I'm sure I would mispronounce them, as one of the only words or the only word on your tweet. So you just use this word, you just use this word, one of the 2. My understanding is that they're Indian slang terms for, not Native American, like Indian slang terms for fuck, fucking, things like that. And I believe the original point was to be shown on Twitter for those people in that part of the world. Now it has become a very popular thing, and honestly it's overused, so I use it sparingly. If you want to use those as your keywords, use it as your only keyword. I don't care, that's up to you. Like I said, I do it sparingly because I don't want to add to the overuse of it, but I do feel like it does help. That's something you can test out for yourself. I want to touch a little bit on Instagram and Blue Sky here for just a moment. One, Blue Sky is very much like Twitter in the sense that you can post not safe for work content. It doesn't matter. You're fine. I would recommend, again, setting your account to being for those over 18 and things like that. But it's like Twitter in that they allow not safe for work content. They don't have a scheduling option, as far as I'm aware. I think they're working on that. I don't like the way you switch between accounts. Like, it's just a couple of steps too many, in my opinion, but I digress. I'm sure they're working on better ways to make it more efficient, and that's beside the point. The biggest problem I see right now with Blue Sky is that there are too few people on it still. It's really hard to convert followers, likes, reposts, reskeets, I believe they're called on there, which I kind of hate that term, to sales in any way. So by all means, create a Blue Sky account, but just keep in mind that it's not going to be what Twitter is in terms of finding customers. Instagram, obviously you got to be careful about what you post. Even if it just implies nudity, you have to be careful, especially when you're a smaller account. The bigger your account, the easier it is to get away with stuff. I have noticed. I really hate that, but that's the way it is. So just be careful about what you post. Now, on Blue Sky, I haven't noticed that hashtags have been a problem. I haven't noticed any adverse effects to being shown to the right people. That could change at any time. I don't know if they're going to go the way of Twitter like that. So use hashtags sparingly, maybe on 1 in 5, maybe on 2 in 5. As for other social media like TikTok, just set your account to be viewable for those over 18. Make sure you're not engaging with minors. Obviously, you can't post anything not safe for work. You have to be careful about what your captions say. They police things a lot over there, and it obviously got worse after the 16-hour ban, when we were blacked out in the US for less than a day. So just be careful about what you post. I recommend having a backup account. I didn't start talking about spicy stuff until like 2 weeks ago. So I don't have a backup account yet. I was initially just talking about my books over there. Book at this point. But if you're going to talk spicy stuff, maybe create a backup account just to be on the safe side. Also, I've noticed that if you appeal the removal of a comment or a video that wasn't a strike against you to start with, and the appeal doesn't go through, then you get a strike against you. So if something happens and you don't know if it's going to be approved if you appeal it, don't appeal it. Don't risk it, because it will give you another strike. And you could potentially get your account locked for a time or banned entirely. Just don't risk it. It's not worth it. If you make content in which you collaborate with other people, one big thing I recommend is to tag those people. Maybe not every time, if it's just an offhand tweet or whatever, it's probably not that big of a deal. But as often as possible, try to tag those people. It's frankly just common courtesy at this point, especially if you have a big account and they have a smaller account, or vice versa. It could help. The point is to give credit where credit is due. Follow those people on other social media like Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, wherever you guys find each other. Follow them. That way you can tag them a little bit easier. You can even talk about them. If you said, oh my gosh, I had a great time working with this person, they were so professional, etc. Make a video like that. Make a tweet like that. Make a post like that, because it's going to help that person to get more work as well. No matter what you do, just remember marketing and consistency. I think it's the 4th time I've said the word consistency, but it is super important, because in the lean times, you're going to find that at least keeping those posts going will help you. That being said, I'll see you in the next video, because I've got more content coming.